Can you tell the jury at what point in time, in your opinion, does the restraint itself begin?
Based on my review of the body-worn video, the restraint started at 20, 19, and 14 seconds.
And when does the restraint period end?
I believe it was 20, 28, and 43 seconds.
And sir, what is the duration then of that time period, the restraint period?
9 minutes and 29 seconds.
What does this moment in time show?
It shows the defendant still on Mr. Floyd and the EMS personnel going over to try to survey what was going on.
This is shortly before the end of the restraint period that you've defined, is that right?
Yes.
Now, were you able to observe the relative position of the defendant using the milestone video from the start of the restraint period to this point?
Yes.
Did it change?
No.
So I'd like you to focus then on the second factor, that is whether Mr. Floyd posed an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others at the time during the restraint period.
No, he did not.
And why not?
Because he was in the prone position, he was handcuffed, he was not attempting to resist, he was not attempting to assault the officers, kick, punch, or anything of that nature.
Did he ever communicate an intent to do so?
No, he did not. I didn't hear any verbalization of any threats towards the officers.
Did he ever indicate whether or not he had the ability to do so?
No, he did not. Another factor that's considered when evaluating a use of force is the number of officers versus the number of subjects. In this particular instance, there were actually 5 officers on scene, 3 officers that were using body weight on Mr. Floyd, and there were 2 additional officers that were on scene as well.
Do you have an opinion to a degree of reasonable professional certainty whether the force used, as shown in Exhibit 254, whether that force being applied then for the restraint period, which you've defined as 9 minutes and 29 seconds, would constitute deadly force?
Yes.
And what is that opinion?
That it would.
Why is that?
Because at the time of the restraint period, Mr. Floyd was not resisting. He was in the prone position. He was handcuffed. He was not attempting to evade. He was not attempting to resist. And the pressure that was being caused by the body weight could cause positional asphyxia, which could cause death.
Is positional asphyxia a known risk in law enforcement?
Yes, it is.
How long have the dangers of positional asphyxia been known?
At least 20 years.